Welcome to Trondheim. This is one of the oldest Viking cities in Norway. If you look behind me, you can see this beautiful waterway with these great colorful buildings, and we're trying to get some great reflection shots right now. The water's a little bit ripply, so I think maybe we'll come back first thing in the morning when it's bound to be calmer. One of the things we're doing is we're trying to find a vantage point to get a nice reflection. Do we want the full building? Do we want, half of the building on top, the full reflection? These are things that are up to your own imagination. I suggest you try both, and you can crop in from there, try them both. We're also doing a lot of panel work because these buildings, when you pull them up on a long panorama, they just look fantastic. So try all the different techniques that you've learned in your clubs or just on your own, and use them when you get to a beautiful location like this. Hey everybody, we're on day 7 and we're about to go into Nidaros Cathedral here in Trondheim. This is a magnificent building on the outside. I can't wait to see what's on the inside, so why don't you come with me? What another breathtaking experience here in Norway. We're inside the cathedral now, and as you can see, it's just breathtaking. The architecture is amazing. I'm not sure how old it is in here, but there's painted statues, there's beautiful arches. For photography, it's panos and wide angle everywhere. Love to take the ceiling shots, love to just get all the little details in here. And I think when we put these together for you to see, you're going to agree, this is a place you shouldn't miss. Hey everybody, we've been traveling for about 5 hours today and stopping a lot because there's been a lot of great vistas, a lot of great landscapes to capture. We're a little further inland, so it's getting colder and the aspens are turning yellow, and we just want to capture them. A lot of panos. That's the tip we give you today, is every time we come out here, a lot of the stuff we're doing are panos because we don't want to lose anything. And we're just taking our time and having a good time and sharing the pictures with you. So we've had another full day of driving, and we stopped maybe 6, 7, 8 times along the way. And I'm going to show you a compilation of all the photos and a little bit of video along the way for today, including this fantastic bridge over here, just like the Harry Potter bridge in Scotland. I hope you enjoy this next section. So it's really great to have a goal and have those goals interrupted by great scenes like this church where we've just spent the last hour taking pictures and video. In fact, as the light changes, my video guy here has interrupted this video 3 times to try to get better pictures, which is just fine. You want to catch the light when it's there, and that's a tip. You're shooting the light more than you're shooting the church. So, you know, always keep your eyes open for changing light. The picture can be different every single time. So today we're going to Gate Unger, and there's a serpentine road through there that we're going to try to take advantage of. And just looking forward to running into more surprises like this one. So, Leif, this is kind of exciting. What are we going to do now?
We are going up the mountain on the Romsdal gondola. It's about 708 meters above sea level.
It's going to be a great trip up there, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice and sunny, bright sky.
well, can barely see sunny, but hopefully we'll get some good light up there. Anyway, hang on. So we've just gone up the Romsdal gondola to the top of this beautiful mountain, and we're surrounded by, like, I don't know, hundreds of mountains that are just magnificent. It's pretty bright out here, so the tip I'm trying myself is to underexpose a lot of my photos and do a lot of bracketing so that when I get back, maybe I have some options or I can blend them together. Another tip I want to give you is when you come up to a place like this, bring some gloves and a toque, because I didn't and I'm freezing to death. But it's worth every second just to be up here. I don't know I've been in a more beautiful place in my life. Okay, everybody, we're about halfway through our trip through Norway. And I mean, we're tripping through Norway. We're going almost everywhere. So we're at the top of, what's the name of this mountain?
Nessaksla.
Nessaksla. Not bad. I almost got that. So we want to just run through some of the things that we've learned over the last week. So one of the things I think we were talking about is don't worry about spending money in certain unique places that you're going to want to check out, because you may not be back here again. So, you know, it cost us $80 Canadian to come up this mountain, but I'm likely never going to come back up here again. And Leif, who's from Norway, you may not come back up here again yourself, right?
I probably won't be back to this area.
Yeah, so don't be afraid to spend that money. I mean, I think it was $25 to get into the cathedral.
Yep.
Right? But that was worth every penny of that.
And $80 to come up here. We're at 705 meters above sea level in this mountain.
Gorgeous.
And if you have the opportunity, because you probably won't be back, just suck it up and do it.
Yeah.
In the big scheme of things, when you get home, what does $80 matter?
No, exactly. And don't forget, there is a ton of things that are free, like the church that we saw this morning.
Just things
Right.
along the road, things in town.
And that leads us to our next tip, which is get up early in the morning and get out and shoot. So when we got to that church, you know, you had an idea what was your perfect shot. You wanted to get it from across the road.
Yep.
But as we walked around, the perfect shot was actually from almost the back of the church because the light was so good.
Absolutely.
And you don't know that in advance until you get out of the car. And
No.
I would say we spent an hour there.
I'm sure we did. And the other thing is you get up in the morning and you check the weather forecast the night before or something. You don't know whether it's going to be full sun or cloudy.
Yeah.
Today it's yet another full sunny day.
Yeah, but we had some clouds this morning that really brought the colors out in the sky.
It's fantastic.
So another thing I think we've both learned is our cell phones are just like seriously almost as good as our regular cameras for what we're doing, and they offer us some opportunities at wide angle shots that our cameras, without changing lenses, offer us. The panos are beautiful.
The other thing is, um, get get a mount for your dash and take some video. As we're driving through these mountains, we came into the town last night when it was dark.
Yeah.
But this morning we got up and drove 10 kilometers back down the road.
Yep.
So we could get the video of the mountains and
Gorgeous.
the sunrise and all that. And it was fantastic.
So I think that's enough tips for this portion. We've got another week where we're going up to Lofoten and a ferry ride through the fjords.
Yeah, 7 hours. Maybe we'll see some aurora borealis from the deck of the ship.
It is something I'm crossing my fingers for. From the Northern Lights would be fantastic. So let's see what happens. See you guys in a bit. So this tip is all about patience. We're at the 5th curve here of 17 curves to get to the top. But what we really want to do is we want to get a panorama of the first 5 turns, or the chicanes. But that light that's over there is stopping us. We don't want some in shadow, some in light. It's not as nice a picture. So we're just going to wait here. We're going to wait for the sun to go below the mountain over there. Give us a little bit more shadow there, then we can get our panorama and hopefully get a great shot. So after we struggled and froze halfway up the road, we get to the top and look, there's this lookout that's been built specifically for this. So we're going to be able to get our full chicane road, 17 turns. And, you know, we're just a lucky couple of guys. So I'm now dressed appropriately for the wind that's come down the valley. I think what I want to say now is every time we're shooting with the light the way it is, there's several layers of light. I'm bracketing a lot just to make sure that I can not blow out my highlights and I can get all of the colors that are there that I don't seem to be able to get with a single shot. Using my camera a lot or my cell phone a lot for panoramas, almost at every stop, just so they just open up more of the scene for you to see. And I can't really wait to share these with you because I think they're going to be pretty special. Okay, I know it's another church, but this one's a little bit special in that the way it's situated up a little higher, it's isolated against the background. We're getting some magnificent shots of this beautiful church. What I did notice is that as I walked around, the light was different on each side of the church, making each shot unique, a little challenging in some places. I had to bracket some shots because it was a little too bright, but in some other churches we really had to work to not have a lot of distractions. In this case, it's almost made just for us. morning, everybody. We woke up to a really blustery day, and you might think it's not a good day to take photos, but if you look at the cloud action behind the stave church here in Kapungar, it's amazing. This church was built in 1150. It's completely made out of pine. It's one of the first churches ever made by the Vikings, and there's two that we're going to go look at. Another one is in Burgund, and it's a little bit more famous. But this one here, we had great access. The weather is actually working out for us. So I can't wait to show you both churches when I'm done processing them. So we're at this waterfall that we just came across just outside the town of Voss. And, you know, as magnificent as this is, it's hard to figure out what to do with it unless you just want a record shot of a fall. So what I did is I thought I would try to grab all this pathway up, try to lead your line through it. But of course I want to go with a long shutter so I can get the water a little silkier. Don't have my tripod on me, what am I going to do? Well, I took my coat off and turned it into a bit of a beanbag, and it allowed me to steady my camera so I can get a 1 second shot, making the water silky enough for me. So if you're ever out there, improvise with what you've got. I mean, I was looking around for some moss or any kind of rock that might have helped me, but this worked out pretty good. So try it yourself. Hey everyone, we're now on a cruise ship. It's called the MS
Norga.
Norga.
Let me just explain too a little bit about the ship. These ships, the ship line goes back to the late 1800s, and they used it mainly to ship goods and mail, which they still do.
And now this ship ships people, and it's got 7 floors, so it is a cruise ship, and it's quite beautiful in here, really. And I'll tell you what, I can't wait to not have to drive for the next 7-8 hours. It's going to be fantastic. Our first stop is going to be that one fjord. Yeah, we'll stop, weather permitting, we'll go into Trollfjord, and this is not a real long fjord, but it's a very narrow entrance. The kind that you expect when you're thinking about fjords.
High cliffs and all that. So the ship does a 360 so everybody can see all around.
Fantastic. And hopefully the weather will be good for us there. Then after that, we go for a stopover.
We stop in a town, the largest town in Lofoten, called Svolvær. And we'll be there for an hour and a half or so, I believe. And that is the last stop before we get to our destination, Stamsund, in the Lofoten Islands.
And our goal at this part of the trip is we've done a lot of interior photography, and now we're going to do seascapes. And if we get really lucky on a clear night, I hear the northern lights have been pretty spectacular. But it's been raining. That typhoon Annie came through, or Amy. It came through, and it's a little bit rough out there. I mean, the sun's trying to come through. We'll see. I mean, everything's just, you throw the dice and see what happens.
Absolutely.
But I can't wait to try this type of photography, and especially at night. Spend our time. We're going to be staying in a real fishing hut, so we're going to have to go out and buy our own groceries.
We do.
Can you cook?
Absolutely.
Well, look at that. I have someone who's going to cook, so that's great.
I could cook cereal really well.
Oh, and that's all I need. So anyways, folks, hang in there. We're going to show you some other great work. See you in a bit. We're in the village of Unstad, where the main activity here is surfing. And boy, when the wind picks up, the surf is very high. Unfortunately, today, it's not one of those days. So we just thought we'd stop here and see what was going on. We were going to be here for 3 days, so we're going to come back when it looks like it might be a little windier. In the meantime, we're going to take advantage of this area and get the local wildlife here, which are the sheep. I never thought I'd like sheep so much, but these are definitely different looking sheep, all kinds of different coats on them. So going to take some time, get some shots of that. There's a little church shed down there with a cemetery. We're going to get some shots of that against the mountain. And this little portion of the trip is going to be a lot about the way of life in this area. So we're hoping to get fishing villages and great beach shots, and if we get really lucky, maybe the northern lights. So stick around, let's see if we can get those. So we've made it to the top of, let's call it the mountain here, and that is the area called Marvel. And you can just see how beautiful it is down there. The light keeps changing, so we're gonna wait it out. You can see out there, the mountains are starting to show through. So if we just sit here for about 2 or 3 minutes, I bet you the light changes and gives us what we want. So again, patience when you're doing stuff like this. Just want to take a minute to show you the difference between good light and just average light. So behind me, that's pretty unique and pretty spectacular. So I would consider that really good light. Now we're going to move over to a mountain over here. And you can see the light on the one side is a little brighter than the inside. That would also be considered a good lighting situation. Now, if we continue over to this mountain over here, that's just plain light. Like there's no contrast, there's no shadows. So just want to give you an example of the difference between good light and average light. I mean, what says Norway more than these red buildings on the water? We got up nice and early so we can get here before the rains catch in. And if you look over my left shoulder here, you'll see the clouds are coming and I think we're in for a little bit of rain. So at this point in the show, I want to tell you kind of what we've gotten out of this trip, little tips and tricks, and I'm going to read it from my little list here because I can't remember anything. So the first thing I wrote down was light, light, and more light.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm talking about there is, you know, you're not always just taking images from your composition, but you're looking at the light first now.
Absolutely.
The next thing I've got here is the weather is fine no matter what the weather is, because there's nothing you can do about it. You may as well go out and have some fun with it.
Absolutely.
I've got here rain days becoming awesome cloud days.
Yeah.
Rather than a blue sky, everybody thinks the blue sky is great. There's no drama in the blue sky.
Yeah.
So even though the rain is very challenging, the clouds that come from it make some of the best pictures. The next one I have on here, cell phones.
Woo-hoo.
We used our cell phones about 50% of the time.
At least.
Right? And what we were finding is that you don't, the wide angle was the best on the cell phones.
Yeah.
And the pano.
Yeah.
And it was great to get out and test the shot first with the cell phone, and then bring out the big boy cameras we thought they would, just to back us up. The next thing I've got here is take your time. And that kind of works into working the scene, taking your time. Like we would be at some churches for a good half hour.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Just all the different angles and learning to put the foreground elements into the image to make it nice, like the walls that are generally around these churches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dress warm enough. Or dress appropriately, no matter where you are, right?
Over here, dress in layers.
Yeah.
Just like if you're going out in the winter, dress in layers, because you can easily get 2 or 3 seasons all in one day.
And we did today.
Yeah.
Beware of gas station distance, because you do not want to run out of gas when you're driving around. And you don't want to get so fixated on your photos that you forget about filling up your gas tank.
Yeah.
Learn some history. For example, the stave churches. Like learn some history from wherever you are, and you'll be able to, maybe even take better pictures because you'll know what the special artifacts are or the special things about a certain location are.
Yeah.
So take the time.
Yes.
Well, I had my own historian here. 2 weeks, I think I probably saw more in Norway than a Norwegian would see, right?
Yeah.
I've got 2 left here. I've got out here, we came in the fall, so there weren't that many tourists. However, a lot of the stores were closed. So it's that balancing act where, this is the best time to come here, I think, because we've got access to everything without having to run over everybody. And we found places to eat and this and that. You just have to be resourceful. Last hint I've got here is, just plan your food accordingly, because you're going to get hungry. You're going to be out all day. Bring a granola bar. Bring something just to snack on, because you don't want to be stuck out in the middle of nowhere where, like we were quite a bit, and not have like something to just nibble on. I think that's an important tip. I think the bottom line is, if you get a chance to come to Norway, you should do it, and really take 2 weeks. And I mean, there's a lot to see here.
There's a lot to see. 2 weeks minimum.
Minimum.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Well, I can't wait to see you in our next episode. So see you later, and thanks for following us.